Okay, my dear students, hope that you can see my screen. Can you see my screen?
Yes, madam.
Okay. This is a model paper which is prepared for language and society subject. So here in our paper, there are 6 questions. You need to write down answers for any 5 questions. You can select 5 questions out of those 6. Okay, here you can see question number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 like that. Okay, එක ප්‍රශ්නයක් අත්හරින්න පුළුවන් පුතේ. ප්‍රශ්න 5ක් තෝරගන්න ඕන ප්‍රශ්න 6න්. එක ප්‍රශ්නකට ලකුණු 20ක් තියෙනවා. 20 marks will be awarded for one question. That is how 100 marks you can obtain. Okay, so let's go through these questions. Okay, question number 1. Define the term linguistics. Then under question number 1, you can see 4 questions. For the first question, 2 marks will be given. For the second question, 3 marks. For the third question, you can score 10 marks. And finally, for the fourth question, you can score 5 marks. Accordingly, you can score 20 marks for this question number 1. Okay, so let's discuss these questions one by one. I know you have the idea about the content of your syllabus. ඔයාලගේ syllabus එක ගැන content එක ගැන ඔයාලට idea එක තියෙනවා කියලා මම දන්නවා. මේ model paper එකක් පුතේ model paper class එකක්නේ. එතකොට මේ විදිහේ questions එයි කියලා අපි guess කරලා question paper එක set කරලා තියෙන්නේ. එතකොට එක question එකක් යටතේ questions කිහිපයක් තියෙනවා as you can see here. Okay, so එක question එකකට ලකුණු 20ක් හම්බ වෙනවා. ඒ ලකුණු 20 හම්බෙන්නේ මේ question එක යටතේ තියෙන sub questions වලට බෙදලා ගිහිල්ලා. Okay, so in some questions there are 4 questions, and for some questions there are 3 questions, and some questions, for example, let's go to the last question. You can see only 2 questions, 10 marks per each. Okay, some questions වලට questions යටතේ questions දෙකයි තුනයි ඔය විදිහට තියෙනවා. mark එක okay. Question number 1. Define the term linguistics. Okay, I know you have good idea about what is linguistics. So this is actually the first lesson in your syllabus. Okay. So මේ වගේ question එකක් තිබුණොත් පුතේ, you need to give a definition to the term which is highlighted or which is asked to define. Okay, මේ වගේ question එකක් තිබුණොත් question එක define කරන්න ඕනේ. මෙතන define කරන්න කියලා තියෙන්නේ linguistics නේ. So here you can see an answer for that question. We don't descriptively explain this because you will be given only 2 marks. Okay, ලකුණු දෙකයි දෙන්නේ. ඒක හින්දා ගොඩක් ලියන්න අවශ්‍ය නැහැ. So the question is define the term linguistics. So then define it. ඒක define කරන්න descriptively විස්තර කරන්න යන්න එපා. තේරුමක් නැහැ. It is a waste of your time. Anyway, you will get only 2 marks for that. Okay. Then බලන්න. Linguistics is the scientific study of language. It studies the system of language using scientific theories, investigations, hypotheses, research, experiments, and applications. In other words, linguistics is a systematic study of language. Then you can provide an example to like this: study of the function of brain in language, production and comprehension. That is what we call linguistics. Basically, පුතේ linguistics කියන්නේ මොකක්ද? Language production එක and comprehension එක. Language production එකේදී සහ comprehension එකේදී අපේ brain function එක study කරන subject එකට අපි linguistics කියනවා. Okay, so you need to explain that very briefly. You need to define that. Okay, then you can score 2 marks. Okay, Pute, you have full freedom to ask questions while I am going through the paper. Okay, I'm rushing through this because we have a very limited time. I hope that you have good idea about the content of your syllabus. So I'm not hoping to explain these things to you. Okay, මේවා පැහැදිලි කරන්න මම බලාපොරොත්තු වෙන්නේ. මෙහෙම ප්‍රශ්නයක් આવොත් මෙහෙම උත්තරයක් ඔයාලා ලියන්න ඕනේ. ඒක තමයි මම කියන්නේ. Okay. Then second question, which comes under question number 1, is what are the branches of linguistics? You know that we can divide linguistics into 2 branches basically as microlinguistics and macrolinguistics. Then you need to write down the areas of fields or subjects which come under microlinguistics and macrolinguistics separately. Okay, like that. මේ දීලා තියෙන විදිහට microlinguistics යටතේ එන්නේ මේ ටික subsystems ටික, macrolinguistics යටතේ එන්නේ මේ ටික කියලා ලියන්න ඕනේ. Then you can write these 6 sub areas under microlinguistics: phonetics, phonology, morphology, syntax, semantics, and pragmatics. Okay, then under macrolinguistics, there are 4 sub-components as sociolinguistics, psycholinguistics, historical linguistics, and applied linguistics, like that. Okay. Okay. Then for this question, I think you will be awarded 7 marks. So in this case, you need to explain this term sociolinguistics a little bit comprehensively, because you will be, you can score 7 marks for this question. පුතේ මේ question එකට ලකුණු 7ක් තියෙනවානේ. එතකොට මේක descriptively ඔයා ලියන්න ඕනේ ටිකක්. Question එක briefly explain sociolinguistics. So you need to explain what is sociolinguistics. Okay. Sociolinguistics is one of the major branches of linguistics. So that is the first thing that you need to mention. This subcomponent comes under sociolinguistics, which studies the influence of the society in the use of language. දන්නවනේ sociolinguistics වලින් අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නේ මොකද්ද? Influence of the society in the use of language නේ. භාෂාව භාවිතයේදී influence of the society, සමාජයෙන් වෙන බලපෑම. මේක තමයි sociolinguistics යටතේ අපි ඉගෙන ගන්නේ basically. So you need to mention it at first. In other words, sociolinguistics can be defined as the relationship between language and society. So we can use sociolinguistics to show the relationship between language and society. Okay. Further, so further explanation is given here. Further, sociolinguistics can be defined as it is the study of language in relation to social factors, including difference in social class, gender, people, and bilingualism. Then මේ වගේ social aspects, social factors ගැන study කරන subject එක. Social class, gender, people, bilingualism. Then related to language පුතේ. Okay, language එකට relate වෙලා මේ areas ගැන අපි study කරන්නේ through sociolinguistics. You need to mention that. Then a particular language varies community to community, person to person. You know that. Okay. Language එක community එකෙන් community එකට වෙනස් වෙනවා. පුද්ගලයාගෙන් පුද්ගලයාට වෙනස් වෙනවා. And also in terms to geographical and social aspects. Social aspects අනුව, geographical aspects අනුව language එක වෙනස් වෙනවා. මේ වෙනස්කම් ගැන අපි අධ්‍යයනය කරන්නේ sociolinguistics වලින් කියලා ඔයා ලියන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ you can give examples. Okay, examples කිහිපයක් දෙකක් දීලා තියෙනවා පුතේ මෙතන. බලන්න. English language is one of the global languages which has yes, so many varieties in English, like British English, American, Sri Lankan, Indian English, Irish, African, Canadian, like that. There are so many varieties of English. English language varies based on geographical setting and social aspects. So we use sociolinguistic to learn about the differences between these varieties. Okay, the aspects of sociolinguistics include language, slang, accent, dialect, ideolect, style, register, bilingualism, pidgin and creole. So these are the things which come under sociolinguistics. So these are the areas we study under sociolinguistics. Okay, so you need to mention that part also. Finally, so this is a sample answer for the question. Briefly explain sociolinguistics. Okay, any question? Okay, then question number 4. This is the last question which comes under question number 1. Question number 1 යටතේ අවසාන ප්‍රශ්නේ තමයි මේක පුතේ. So for this question you will get 5 marks. State 5 significances in language in society. So you need to just mention 5 significances in language in society. Okay, like this. Here you can see 5. Language is significant to communicate with different communities around the world. So you know that, right? We need language to communicate with different communities around the world. අපිට භාෂාවක් අවශ්‍යයි. ලෝකයේ විවිධ communities එක්ක communicate කරන්න. That is one significance. Okay. Secondly, language is significant to build cross-cultural understanding. Language is significant to define our identity in the society. So identity එක අපිට define කරන්න පුළුවන් language එක හරහානේ. For example, down south අපි ගාල්ල දිහා කෙනෙක් ගත්තොත්, so එයා කතා කරන විදිහ වෙනස්නේ. So variations තියෙනවා ඒ language එකේ යාලගේ. So එයාලේ dialect එකනේ. So එහෙම කතා කරද්දිම අපි දන්නවා so he or she comes from down south කියලා. Then that means එයාගේ identity එක create වෙලා තියෙනවා through language. Okay, so in that way we can this is one significant of this language පුතේ. Language is significant to define our identity in the society, like that. Okay. Then 4th significant is language is significant to build ethnical reconciliation and coexistence among the people. Okay, you know that. The language is significant to share our thoughts, feelings and emotions with other people. So that is one of the most important uses of language in society. We need language to share our thoughts, feelings and emotions with other people. Okay, so in this way Pute, you need to mention 5 importance or significances of language in society. Basically you when and where we use language in the society. Okay, that is the thing that you need to mention under this question. Okay, question number 1 is over. Any question from this part? මේ කොටසෙන් මොනවා හරි ප්‍රශ්න තියෙනවද ඔයාලට? I'm going to move to question number 2. Yes. Hope there are no questions. Then let's start to discuss question number 2. Okay. Here also, for first question, you need to provide a definition. Define language. Give a definition to language given by a linguist. Here, Pute, what you need to do is you need to give a definition also provided by a scholar or a linguist. Okay, linguist කෙනෙක් දුන්න definition එකකුත් ඔයා දෙන්න ඕනේ මෙතනදී. Okay, here you can see the definition which is given by Henry Sweet to language is given here as the answer to this question by us. අපි Henry Sweet දුන්න definition එක දීලා තියෙනවා. Language කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා එයා explain කරපු විදිහ. Okay. Firstly, you can see two sentences written by us. The term language can be simply defined as means of communication. Simply, what is language? That is explained. Okay, language is a system of communication by a particular community by way of writing and speaking. Okay, so a simple idea of the term language is provided through those two sentences. ඒ වාක්‍ය දෙක හරහා language එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා simple idea එක දීලා තියෙනවා. After that, the definition is given. ඊට පස්සේ පුතේ definition එක දීලා තියෙනවා. Language is the expression of ideas by means of speech, sounds combined into words. Words are combined into sentences. This combination answer into that of ideas into thoughts. So this is the definition given by Henry Sweet. Okay, අපි definition එකක් දෙන්නේ දන්නවනේ quotation ඇතුලේ දෙන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ definition එක දුන්නේ කවුද? ස්කෝලර්ගේ නමත් අපි ලියන්න ඕනේ අනිවාර්යෙන්. So within brackets. That is how we give definitions. Okay, the definitions given by somebody else. කවුරු හරි දුන්න definition එකක් අපි ලියන්නේ එහෙම. So this will be enough for a question like this. මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයකට මේ වගේ උත්තරයක් ඇති පුතේ, පොඩි උත්තරයක්. ඊට පස්සේ question number 2. What are the properties or characteristics of language? I am pretty sure that you are well aware about characteristics of language. Language ke characteristics, ගති ලක්ෂණ මොනවද කියලා ඔයාලා හොඳට දන්නවා because this is a topic which is discussed very widely. Okay, so 9 properties or characteristics of language are given here. Language has a set of system. Language is vocal. Language is productive. Language has indefinite vocabularies to communicate. Language is social. Language is creative. Language is changing over time. That means it is developing with time, right? Then language has duality. Then a language has displacement. Can we write displacement or duality directly? Right, madam? Yes, Pute, you can. Gimhani. Yes. Yes, they come and yes, they can be accepted as the answer. So look at the last 2 points. Language has duality, language has displacement. Okay, correct. හැමතිස්සෙම පුතේ question එකට ලකුණු කීයක් දීලා තියෙනවද කියලා බලන්න. ලකුණු 2ක් 3ක් නම් 5ක් නම් දීලා තියෙන්නේ descriptively යන්න එපා. පැහැදිලි නේද? දැන් characteristics ලියන්න කියලා ඔයාට ලකුණු 3ක් විතර නම් ඒකට දීලා තියෙන්නේ. ලොකු paragraph ලියන්න යන්න එපා. ලකුණු 3 score කරන්න නම් points ටික විතරයි ඕනේ. points ටික විතරක් ලියන්න. save your time. වෙලා විතර කරගන්න. Okay. ඉගෙන ගනිද්දී පොඩ්ඩක් ඒ වගේ කපටි වැඩක් කරන්න ඉබේනේ. Okay. Okay. Third question, which comes under question 3, question number 2 පුතේ. How does human language differ from animal communication? So මේකත් guess කරලා දුන්න question එක. So සාමාන්‍යයෙන් මේ කොටසේ යටතේ එන ප්‍රශ්නයක් මේක පුතේ. How human language how does human language differ from animal communication? Animal communication එකෙන් human language එක වෙනස් වෙන්නේ කොහොමද? මේ කියන කාරණාව answer with reference to the properties of language. Language properties ගැන අවධානය යොමු කරලා තමයි ඔයා මේකට උත්තරේ ලියන්න ඕනේ. Okay. අපි animal language කියලා කියනවද පුතේ කොයි වෙලාවකවත්? Animal language කියලා කියනවද? The human language, human communication, that is okay. What about animal communication? That is okay. What about animal language? Huh? We don't use that term. Okay. There is an argument that the sounds that animals use is a language or communication. Argument එකක් තියනවලු මේ සත්තු පාවිච්චි කරන sounds එයාලගේ sounds language එකක් කියලා එහෙම නැත්නම් communication එකක් කියලා. But we don't use the term animal language. Animal language කියන term එක පාවිච්චි කරන්නේ නැහැ පුතේ, because those sounds are not up to the standard of a language. Okay, so we know that they use those sounds to communicate, but language is a totally different thing. Okay, so because of that we cannot consider it as a language. Okay, let's see how it differs from human language. However, based on the characteristics of human language, it is obvious that it is a communication. There are no any characteristics that human language possesses to animal communication. Now, mama kiwa karanavane animal communication එකේ animal communication එකේ human language එකක තියෙන ගති ලක්ෂණ නැහැ, ඒ characteristics නැහැ. Okay. ඒ හින්දා we cannot consider it as a language, just a mode of communication. Okay. Then here you can see the differences between human language and animal communication in this chart, put in this table. So human language has a set of system. You know that there is a developed set of system can be seen in a language. Okay, but when it comes to animal communication does not have any set of system. We cannot see develop set of systems in animal communication. That is one difference. Okay, then the second difference is language is vocal. Yes, okay. Animal communication is not vocal. Yes, that is another difference. Language is productive, pute. It is very productive, right? Human language very productive, but animal communication is not productive. Another difference between two. Language has indefinite vocabularies to communicate. Okay, අපිට vocabulary තියෙන ඕනේ තරම් නේද? ඒ කියන්නේ වචන words, we have enough words to communicate, right? So words දවසින් දවස develop වෙනවා, අලුත් වචන coin වෙනවා, borrowings වෙනවා, මේ විදිහට vocabulary develop වෙනවා human language වල. හැබැයි when it comes to animal communication, පුතේ, animal communication has definite sounds and behaviors to communicate. එයාලට තියෙන්නේ ඒක develop වෙන්නේ නැහැ. එයාලගේ sounds දැන් අපේ vocabulary improve වෙනවා වගේ දවසින් දවස vocabulary develop වෙනවා වගේ එයාලගේ sounds develop වෙන්නේ නැහැ. Okay, so they have a very limited or else definite sounds and behaviors to communicate. Okay, the language has a complete system. Animal communication is simple. Our language, human language has a very complex system. Human language is very complex, but animal communication, that is very simple. Okay, the language is social. Animal communication is not social. Language is creative. Animal communication is non-creative. Language is changing over time. Animal communication does not change. So these are the differences that can be seen in between human language and animal communication. Okay, give me 1 minute පුතේ. Okay. If these differences are combined with examples, they are sufficient answer to this question. Okay, so you can write about these differences with examples. Examples එක මේ differences ගැන ඔයා ලියන්න ඕනේ. එතකොට answer එකට ඇති. Okay. Okay, that's all about question number 2. Any question from that part? Okay, seemingly no questions. Okay, then question number 3. Under this question, you can see, yes, 3 questions, 2 questions, right? Yes. Under question number 3, Butte, there are 2 questions. The first question is, explain the difference between dialect and idiolect with relevant examples. So I know you have a very clear idea about what is a dialect and what is idiolect. Idiolect එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද, dialect එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා පැහැදිලි අදහසක් ඇති කියලා මම හිතනවා ඔයාලට. මේ වගේ ප්‍රශ්නයක් දුන්නාම පුතේ, what you need to do is ඔයා මුලින්ම dialect එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා පැහැදිලි කරන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ idiolect එකක් කියන්නේ මොකක්ද කියලා පැහැදිලි කරන්න ඕනේ. So here in this sample answer you can see it. Okay, මේ sample answer එකේ එක දීලා තියෙනවා. Dialect and idiolect are 2 different varieties of language. Although both are varieties of language, the term a dialect differs from the term although both are varieties of language, the term dialect differs from term idiolect. The different part we can say dialect and idiolect. So both of these things are varieties of language. Language එකේ varieties තමයි මේ dialect and idiolect කියන්නේ. ඒ වුණාට language එකේ varieties උනාට dialect එක වෙනස් වෙනවා idiolect එකෙන්. මේ කියන කාරණාව ඔයා මුලින්ම කියන්න ඕනේ. ඊට පස්සේ then you can explain what is dialect and what is idiolect. So dialect එකක් මොකක්ද, idiolect එකක් මොකක්ද කියලා විස්තර කරද්දී පුතේ ඒක ඇතුළෙම වෙනස ගැනත් කතා වෙනවා. Okay. Then a dialect is a variety of language spoken by a particular community in a particular social class and region, whereas idiolect is an individual unique use of language. You know that dialect එකක් කියන්නේ particular community එකක, එහෙම නැත්නම් particular social class එකක, එහෙම නැත්නම් particular region එකක පාවිච්චි වෙන language variety එකකට අපි dialect එකක් කියලා කියනවා. හැබැයි idiolect එකක් කියන්නේ මොකද්ද? it is an individual unique use of language පුතේ. community කතන්දරයක් මෙතන නැහැ. මෙතන අපි කතා කරන්නේ one person ගැන. එක පුද්ගලයෙක් ගැන. එක පුද්ගලයෙක්ගේ unique use of language. එයාට ආවේනික language use එකට අපි ideolect එකක් කියලා කියනවා. So you need to explain that. Okay.